Well, first little bit of a hard rip, and the exhaust bracket just ripped out. It's in the shop. It runs. It doesn't drive well, but it drives. So now I gotta pull a bunch of stuff out, and let's start making a list of what I need to get done today and tomorrow. So it's Saturday. I'm only gonna be working on this on weekends, so updates will be pretty sporadic. But big things I wanna do between today and tomorrow: change the rear shocks, put the Korea ones on, change the strap mounts, put those on, lock this down, and just see what the hell's clunking when I turn the wheel lock to lock, because that's terrifying. And then vacuum lines, try to figure those out for the most part, for wastegate, for the boost controller, and also the blow off valve. And then I gotta figure out what is the vacuum lines that are from the heater core. I don't know if they just need vacuum and they don't need like a check valve or anything in between. I don't know, but that's what I want to get sorted. So I ran the super long vacuum line from the back of the manifold just so that I had what I need and go from there. And yeah, right after that will be something's up with the brake booster. I realized I thought I didn't replace it, but I clearly did because it's got a brand new sticker on it. But the first pumps are like completely, not spongy, but just aerated. Like it's just air in the booster. So I don't know what's going on with that. But the first initial pump of the brake, there's like nothing till the very end, and this car rolls really well. When you hit the brake brakes work good. So yeah, let's get after some stuff. Okay, so I didn't tear too much into the card to get access to the back bolts for the shocks. So I'm going to grab some tools, undo them from the top, lift the car up, lift the front end up, and then I'll finish doing the shocks so they're really easy to do. Then come to the front here. I'm not sure what's the best way to tackle changing the strut mounts, but I will want to deal with that separately, so let's get those shocks out. Oh, I got the driver's side shock out. It's working great. Works real good. I was wondering why the car rode like absolute garbage on the way here. I don't know. So here's the problem I got. This guy is in the way of me getting that pulled out. So I'm going to take the wheels off. And now I need to take the whole thing out so I can get the shock out. So I can do that. Put these here, put this on the other side, line it up. Just like that. Keep in mind, guys, when I slapped this thing together, me and Jack had fun working after hours. I tried to do this whole drivetrain swap and build in 2.5 weeks, start to finish, from the previous car to this car. So mistakes were made. All right, mistakes were made. Small stuff, as you can see, nothing crazy, but they happen nonetheless. And because of that, things like this are just the fun part that make me want to keep going with this build. So I'd rather deal with this problem than what the thieves did to this car when they tried to take it from me. All right, all chalk out. New shocks, QA1. This should help drastically. So I'm gonna lose everything. To make this car handle as good as I want for a street car and some light track days. Or piled with the UMI lowering springs. I did everything I possibly could to make this a fairly nice car. So, with that in mind, I can figure out which way I need to mount these things. So I don't know if I want to do it that way, which I probably should. Or should I do it inboard? We'll be right back. Okay, so for some reason my meta glass is now responding to voice commands, but before I put the car back down, let's run this wire for the cutout so I don't have to worry about doing this later on, because there isn't much stuff that needs to be done under the car, and everything's going to be from up top. So let's get this fingered out, and that way I have control of the fantastic exhaust. I think while I'm also under here, I'm going to see if there's any black paint and just kind of spray some of the exhaust. No, that's the wrong way. And some of the underside of the body. Just, this car's been sprayed before and it's undercoated, or was a very long time ago, but I'd rather keep it this way than let it start to even have a chance to rot. So I'll find out what I can do with that. But look at that Granatelli 4-inch. This thing's a beast of a cutout. I don't even know if it'll let me open it right now. Oh, there you go. So there's a good look at the exhaust right now. Massive, massive 4-inch. And how this is all pretty solid, thanks to Justin. It's not crazy loud. Like when you rev it, it's got some volume for sure, but that guy will make it healthy. So when we eventually get to turn the boost to this thing, so when that will be, who knows? But let's get this hooked up. Well, rear shocks are done. Now onto the front struts. So I'm changing out the UMI right there, strut mounts for the QA1 just to match. I also found that when I originally saw this before everything all happened, that one side to the other, so I believe it's the driver's side, is lower than the passenger side. So yeah, we're gonna put these QA1s in. They look freaking awesome. Yeah, my only thing is I'm afraid of getting them all scratched up. But let's get these, or get those off, get these in. And I like how it can really show you just exactly where you stand for caster camber. So that's gonna be cool. All right, enough talk. Let's do some more work. This is what I got done so far. So I hooked up vacuum lines for the heater controls that were back there, just a vacuum source. See how that works. I hooked up the blow-off valve right here to vacuum source. So that's hooked up. All the clamps are on for the charge pipe. Cold side, same with down here as well. I put back on my old heat shield and the Funk Motorsports turbo blanket. I forgot the boost controller, so I haven't plumbed the wastegate yet. That's fine. I changed the strip mounts, so that's done. Look good. There is an issue with this one shock when trying to adjust it. The secondary position, you gotta like really finesse getting it down to there and then adjust. I don't like that. I think it's a warranty issue. But the other side has definite 2 clicks, makes it easy to adjust. Alignment wise, I don't know where I'm at. I kind of eyeballed it. It looks decent. So we're gonna fire up the car and just see when I turn the wheel if nothing clunks, because that was really concerning on the ride here. So let's do that. Oh, rear shocks are done. And I hooked up the, right in the middle, right there, cutout switch. So it is hooked up. So yeah, you know what? Let's fire it up. All right, well, I'm running out of daylight and I don't have working lights on this car, so I'm gonna have to stop here. Strut mounts are in. Did some vacuum lines. I'm gonna come back. I forgot my boost controller. So I kind of need that if I want to plumb the wastegate. So I'm going to do something that people are going to hate me for, but this car is technically a turbo Trans Am, and so this does belong to the original 87s, I believe they were, turbo Trans Ams, but I really like this logo, and I kind of want to just hint that this car's turbocharged, and I'm thinking this is going to go right about there. So that's what I'm going to do. So, roast me in the comments if you like. I don't care. Well, that's it for today. Let's drive this thing back home gingerly. It's freak right out. Oh, she is stiff, boys. I turn the rears up. I feel it now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow, that's gonna take some adjustment. Jesus Christ. The rear is so bumpy. Steering was like all over the place, like, oh my God. All right, everyone. So I don't know where we're at in terms of making this video, but it's another following weekend. Got the car back at the shop. After the last time of driving the car home, I realized that the car's very darty, and I didn't have this issue before when I first got the car and drove it. Steering column was tight. The new one I got was tight too. Like, it doesn't shake around. The tilt is all fine, but I got a lot of, like, the keys on the accessory now. I got a lot of dead play before the wheel turns. So I'm doing this. Nothing's happening. Right? If I really start to give, like, I'm about this far turning the wheel to the left, and it hasn't started to move yet. So I don't know what's going on there. And keep in mind, I've replaced pretty much the whole front end with the subframe being tubular. So it's new control arms, new towered ends, inner and outers, center link is new. The only thing I didn't change is the pivot arm, because it's in great shape. So there was no real need to. So I'm not sure what's going on there. And I also have a new steering shaft when I first did the swap as well. It's a solid steering shaft. So see right there. There's no rack joint. Steering box doesn't leak. It's good. It's a quick ratio box. Doesn't make any noise or anything like that. So I don't know what's going on there. People told me sometimes you need to adjust the pitman arm, I guess the height of it with the center link can be off, which will cause some play there. So I'm hoping that's the issue. Now everything's really easy to adjust because it's all fresh. The car hasn't seen any mileage since I've put it together, except for the 2 weekends I took it here to the shop. So I don't know. It rides, especially in the back, it rides like it's on metal. And any bump, no matter what shock settings I have, because I put the QA1s on, it sounds like I'm just slamming everything. Now, there's a little bit of witness mark on the axle itself in terms of hitting the bump stop. And look, it's like 1.5 inches of clearance at best. So I'm hitting bump stop for sure, but it doesn't even feel like I'm hitting bump stop completely. And I'm thinking, like, I hear a lot of like loose nuts and bolts, right? And like I said, I started doing this build 2 years ago. We tried to get it done in like 3.5 weeks, start to finish, with both cars side by side. I forget what's been nut and bolted, right? So that's partly my fault. And then when the break-in happened, it kind of really took me out of the game in terms of finishing the car. So remembering where you left off is hard, but like the trailing arms are tight. They're locked down. The sway bar is done. It's nut and bolted down. So nothing's loose there. Shocks aren't loose. The panhard bar, it looks kind of like it's pretty close to hitting itself also, but there's no witness marks on it. Keep in mind, I haven't really driven the car in a hard corner side to side, so it shouldn't really bind yet. So I think part of it is going to be the torque arm because it's adjustable, and I don't know how I really remember. I think I angled it pretty much to the stock one, but I could be wrong. So I think that's another possibility of why it sounds and rides the way it does. It might be pitched too forward or too far up, and it's just causing all sorts of racket. The exhaust might be hitting the axle as well, which is whatever, it will clear itself if it hits a hard bump and do what it's got to do. So that will be a temporary thing until it goes away. So first thing I'm going to do is take off the bump stops, and just, that's an easy thing to fix. Looks like someone's been in there before. Well, definitely someone has, because it's got zip ties on them to hold them up. But I'm probably going to just cut them down pretty much to like, I don't know, 1 inch by itself. So we'll take a lot of meat off of that. We got the car back in the air, and I'm just waiting for Randy to show up. I need 2 people to kind of like, someone to shake the wheel and see what's underneath the car to see what's going on with the steering and tighten that down. Because right now as the car sits, I can't even align it until all that stuff is really kind of buttoned up. So yeah, wiring wise, I'm still leaving that pretty much last. But fans are hooked up. They come on, they keep the car cool. I hinted in a clip previously, depending on where I'm at with editing this right now, the motor itself, hate to say it, but I don't think she's 100% happy anymore. And yes, you're gonna say this is a pretty much fresh motor. You are correct. It's got less than, let's say, 600 kilometers on it in total over the 2.5 years, because the car was parked, the previous car was parked for a while when I first got it installed. So it's got like basically 1 oil change on it from break-in. The last time I went to start it, started up while I was working on it here, and the top end seemed to be making quite a bit of noise. It's got good oil pressure. I pulled the valve cover off on both sides, and nothing's loose up top in that regard. But it sounds, when I say top end, like lifter top end. So yeah, and the catch can is got some good chug to it too, right? So more than, and some people say for a boosted car, like having a little bit of steam coming out is normal. Yes and no. Now, in that regard, like this motor one is fresh, didn't do that off the hop. So, you know, as I broke it in, it shouldn't continue to get worse in that regard. So that's another thing. Trimmed one bump stop. That should help. One of the bolts snapped on the driver's side, so we can get the bump stop completely out. And here's the passenger side. So, you know what they say, always trust your instincts or your gut? See that? All those lines right there? Contact. So, looks like I need to move the torque arm to those intervals. So that would be an issue. I can't quite tell if the exhaust is hitting the axle, but it doesn't seem like it yet because it physically can't right now. So I don't know how I need to adjust this to create the correct angle. Right now I don't think that's a main concern. Let's try to undo these bolts, get this to hang down, and move this over, which is probably going to fight because they are a pain to do, but it's got to get done. So let's raise the car back up. All right, just made my 2 cuts, see if it fits on the car, and make things slightly better. Well, that was a battle, but I got the torque arm back in, and now it is clear of the rear bottom floor, so it should have a lot more suspension travel than it did. And now I got to tighten up these jam nuts. I don't know exactly how much to pitch this thing, but right now it looks fairly level. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And then we'll jounce the car and see if I still hear it like bottoming out. I don't think I should, but it shouldn't ride like it's on bricks, at least in the rear. The front, I'm debating if I need to remove the front bump stops as well, because there's like an inch, maybe inch and a quarter of room between them. The jounce tests revealed there's still something making noise. Not as bad, but something's still contacting. And I'm by myself again, so I can't really figure it out. But I'm gonna work on something else just to kind of make myself somewhat happy and just kind of hook up the stereo. You know, like something easy to finish off. I already have all the wires ran. I gotta just finish properly mounting up the rear speakers and the sound panels, and clearance the one speaker for the front dash. That won't take me long at all. So you know what? Let's get some sound in this thing, at least. I know the subs, they're at home. The box is pretty destroyed. And plus, with me carrying a lot of stuff in the trunk, I didn't want to put the subs in here and make this thing even more attractive for someone to break into. So yeah, let's do something a little bit more satisfying, just to check something completely off the list of something that's complete. And I'm just gonna hook up the stereo. All the wires already ran. They just need power ground, hook up the RCAs, and be done with that. So I'm gonna do that just to make myself feel better, give the car some sound. Why? Not important, but you know, sometimes you need the small wins to just keep plugging away. So with that, I'm going to remount the rear 6x9s because I do have proper brackets to do them, and foam insulation to put in there so it's an actual baffle. And then I have the one right there, 6.5 to put in the front dash. I have to, normally on the Firebirds, if you're gonna put round speakers in the front, the defrost vents that come around in the corners here, they go around the speaker cavity. So the magnet is usually on an aftermarket speaker a little too wide, and you can literally heat them up with a heat gun. Sometimes depending on the size speaker you're putting in, they'll sit flush down, but you need to kind of oval out just around the magnet so it actually sits down and get a mounting screw in there. So I just need to do it on the one side. I believe the passenger side I already did. It wasn't too bad, but the driver side needs to be done. And yeah, we'll have stereo. I don't need stereo. I need the car to run and drive and have the dash working properly, but the stereo is completely separate from that. And I'll feel better when the car doesn't move, but I can sit and listen to tunes. So we're gonna do that. 6x9 plate is in. I got these XTC Speaker 9, Speaker 9, 6x9 baffles. This helps just because this is not a sealed cavity, and this will help make it sealed for the 6x9 to give it more mid-range for the speaker itself. You can get, if you can find them, there are the original with the, I believe it's a UK7 option code on TransAms for with the factory amplifiers. This car did have it from factory, so there are two speaker leads that come up into here. One was the mid, one was the treble. Because I ran all new speaker lines, didn't matter which one I was using, I just went down to the bottom here and fed it to what I need, to the amp. So the original is just for the other speakers, just not being used. So I'll get this in with the new 6x9 from the previous car that I had. These baffles are fairly deep, so parts of it are just gonna kind of bunch up, but whatever. I just made a little access hole to put the speaker wire through. I'll put a little piece of tape after that, so it is kind of sealed-ish. And yeah, gets us all back together. And there's one complete. Sealed. We'll see how it performs. Put this cover back on. Same thing on that side. So as I mentioned, with the front speakers, just got the dash pad off here. So you can kind of see right there, that's the hole for the original speaker magnet. So on this side is the vent that comes out to the driver's side. Now, on the passenger side, it was easy to manipulate to get it in, but on the driver's side, because the dash is also, the cluster sticks out so far, like you see that, it's actually white, but it's yellowed over time. That's the actual back of the cluster itself. So I need to flatten this side down and then seal it back up so it still blows air out of that vent. So what I usually do is, depending on the size speaker I'm putting in, or the magnet, I would either try to heat it and kind of just naturally deform it so it doesn't crack through. But in this case, because I have the digital dash, I can't go too much further down because it hits the actual top of the cluster itself, so I gotta go further forward. So if I can come forward, then I can actually get it to sit down nicely. So I'm gonna cut there, level it some more, and then sit the speaker in. So that's gonna be a bit to get to. I'm not trying to take the whole dash apart to do that, but shouldn't be too bad. All right. And with that, you can kind of see start to make a hole. I might have to trim a little bit more. Actually, fits in. Never mind. All right, let's seal it up, screw it down, and put the dash back together. And then we can hear if this thing still sounds as good as it used to. Okay. Speakers in. Don't mind the lovely radio pod cover. I had to modify the original because with the digital dash, it's rare to find this secondary. But I'm gonna have one remade that fills the gaps here. I had tape that was covering before, and then with the sun, it just kind of pulled itself back. It doesn't matter. But let's see if we have some sound. I don't know why the dash is unhappy still. I haven't got into that yet. It does weird things too, so if I start like turning up the dimmer, it stops doing all that. And then you put it back down to normal and it's okay. So I don't know. But since this car is connected, or this radio is connected to my phone previously in the old car, everything should start to work, which we have sound. Let's go to, let's see if it still has some radio. I forget how to even use this thing. It's been so long. All right, we have sound. I don't hear rears for some strange reason, but I think I have them all the way to the front right now. I do not. Oh no, I just have the rears turned down too much. All right, well, I'll play around with the amps and try to get this sounding somewhat decent. Well, big moment. Just cleaning up the wheel wells, get the paint black. So we're finally putting on my replacement wheels. Ordered these from Hawks, 17s, and these are going to look absolutely amazing, and they're bright. Not exactly the correct gold because it's hard to reproduce, but I'm okay with these. The only part that sucks is going to be cleaning them because they're bigger and would be more noticeable when they're dirty. But we're going to finish putting these on. I tried them without the spacers because it seems to clear right now, so I'm not worried about it. And it'll help tuck it in a little bit more. It's a little more flush, so I think that's going to be the move. But let's get the last two on, drop the car down, and just keep plugging away at stuff. Now this is going to be the second oil change I've really done on this motor. When I was in the red car, I pretty much did the initial break-in, and I drove it at max. Well, the first 100 kilometers I did an oil change, and then from there it's had maybe 500 since then. So this is basically the second oil change. So on the magnet itself, for the noise that the engine's making right now, which does sound like lifters on diesel, you can kind of hear them rattle. I was expecting a lot more debris in here. So I guess it does have some, actually quite a bit actually. But it's not abnormal at this stage. So it's worrisome because it's still pretty much a fresh build motor-wise. Has been retuned, and it won't take much to retune because it's not far from the previous setup. But I haven't really beaten on this motor yet and put a lot of boost through it. So I'm worried that because of that, you know, a lot of people say that with fresh LS builds, if they're boosted, you need to just put the screws to it right away to really seat the rings in. I gave it some boost, but not full like 22 pounds of boost that I was doing previously, because I don't know what this motor is going to want. So it's had more light idle and, or I should say, part throttle and idle time than it has a lot of drive time under load, heavy load. So I don't know how well that's attributing to what's going on now, but that shouldn't matter for lifter. I would assume. Piston rings setting in, yes, but the lifter shouldn't start to be making noise. These are Johnson lifters. They are the two 1110s R's, I believe. It's been a while. Which served me well in the last motor. So I rode in Johnson again. I've never had an issue, but I just don't know now if this is a different issue. It could be a lifter tray for all I know, and just one of them starting to spin. I really don't know. And I'm not going to tear into it to find out right now. I can't. I can't bring myself to now worry about the engine on this thing when I have other major issues. Suspension doesn't want to seem to travel. Steering has a lot of stop all of a sudden. The electrical, which I can't even put on the road because it's not technically safe to drive because it's got no signals. It's got headlights, brake lights, but that's about it. So I'm not at a point where I feel confident in the car to worry about something like that, where it still runs and drives and it will grenade when it decides to grenade, but it's not going to stop me from finishing the rest of this car. So we're going to do another oil change on it right now, which I'm just kind of draining everything I possibly can. I'm going to put in some fresh 540 and see how it reacts with that. And I'm going to put in a bit of an additive as well, which I've used previously and had some good luck with. So I've used the Ceratec Locomoly additive, and it's helped, from what I can tell, for situations like this. So on my Subaru, it did help with lifters or valve train noise in that regard. I'm gonna try it on this. I mean, at this point, I really don't care if this motor needs to come out later on and it's hurt. I'm just gonna drive it until it kicks something out right now. So yeah, we'll get this up and going, and then we'll do an actual, I'm gonna actually clean the car out because it needs a bath. And we'll do a proper reveal of what the car looks like on the ground with the new wheels. Well, here it is. On the 17s. Crisp. I can't wait to get this thing cleaned up with a new spoiler on it. Get the suspension working right. You guys think?
A few moments later.
And this is how we're gonna end off. Broken TransAm again. If it's not one thing, it's the other. Well, we've made some progress. It drives, it's got lights, it's running better. Speedo is now way out of whack, but I'll get down to that. But that's it for today. So we covered a lot. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and post comments. Let me know what you think about the new wheels. I think they look great, and I can't wait to really test them out. But with that, I will see you in the next update.